Hey guys, so my name is Shangur and in this video I'll make you understand what's depth first search in easy way from scratch to code. So stick to this video. Subscribe to the channel, press the bell icon so you never miss an update in future. So guys, make sure to watch this video completely and thoroughly because it's gonna be the base for the very important topic, that's backtracking. So let's get started. Firstly, I'll make you understand what's the difference between breadth first search and depth first search. Suppose here is a rectangle with blocks inside, okay? And I am to explore this entire rectangle starting through this block, okay? Now, according to graph theory and these applications, I have two choices. Either I'll explore this, then this, then this, then this, then this. This means depth first, then come to this point, this, 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 depth of this first, then depth of this, then this, then this, then this, then this. Okay. Second choice I have is exploring this entire generation firstly. Okay. So explore this, then this, then this, this. Then come to next generation. So explore this completely, this. Okay. And this way I'll explore this entire rectangle. So when I explore level or generation first, that's breadth first search. I have made a separate video on breadth first search. You can check it out on the top right corner of your screen. There's the I button for my BFS video. Now, in depth first search, I look for child of each block. And after exploring this entire series in depth, I'll come back and ask, do you have any brother? Then explore its first child. It will explore its first child first, then come up asking, do you have any brother? So child first approach is here, okay? In BFS there was sibling first or level searching, level traversing, and here it's child first, depth first approaches, okay? So I hope you got the basic idea. What's the meaning of depth first? This means we'll explore the child first, and exploring all first childs of every node, I'll come up asking for any other child if there exists, okay? And if it exists, I'll explore its first, okay? This way. Now I'll make a graph. So now I have this graph and I am to start through this node and traverse through this completely with depth first search. So I'll make a list first. I'll make you understand why we make this. So here I make the list. Here is the visited. So I have not visited any node by now. So all are false. Now I'll start through this node and I'll look for first child. So I visited this. I printed this. Now first child is 1. So I visited this. First child is 0. That's visited. Okay. 3 not visited. So okay. Now 1 is visited already. 4 is here. So firstly I'll make this true, then 4, then this. 1 is visited already, 3 is visited, 2 is remaining. So 2, done. This is visited, this is visited, this is remaining. So now 2 visited, 4 visited, 7 remaining. So okay, and now 7, 5 visited, So I'll come back, no more child. Now I come back, no more child. Now I come back, I have this child. So this is visited now, this child not visited. Explore first child, visited, done. So coming back, all visited, this is remaining after 4 is visited completely, so 8. So okay, so after 8 I visited third completely, so I come back here, 4 visited. Now 1 is complete, 2 visited, so done. We did depth first search for everyone out there. Okay, so firstly I visited 0, then 1, then 3, first child only. Okay, then 4 because third has first child 4. Okay, now 2 because it has first child 2, then 5, it has first child 5, then 7. Now when it has no more child, so it will come back to this, and it has visited 4, 2, so it will come back to 2. So again all children visited, so come back to this, come back to this. Now it has visited this, it has visited this, this has visited this, now this, so 6. After this no more children, so come back. So after this I have visited this, now this. Okay, so what I did basically, I started from here, then look for child first, so that's known as depth first search. So start with 0, then first child, first, then this series of first child ends at some point, so I'll come back to check if there is another children from any generation remaining. If that remains, I'll start first child game with that. Okay, so what I basically did, I made a graph. So I have a random graph with 0 to n minus 1. Okay, just randomly, and now I make a list. Okay, a pointer to list, let the name of pointer is adj, adjacent nodes list. Okay, so each list element has been treated like a vector. Okay, vector or something that has pushback feature. Okay, so I'll push back every node connected to this node of the list, then to this pushback, this pushback, this pushback. Okay, this way I made this list, and now I made another list of Boolean type that stores false initially for all, and later when I'll visit them, I'll mark them true, so that I do not revisit them. Okay, now after this I'll solve this with a function. So before that, I'll make you understand what is class. In my previous video of breadth first search, one of my friends said that Shanu, that's totally fine, you are making us understand what is breadth first search, but actually most of the coders like me, my friend, doesn't know what is class. So now I'll make you understand what is class. Okay, let it be here. Class is basically declaration of a new data type. Okay, so suppose I make a data type SG Shanugarg. Okay, so it has some data elements, an integer, age, a character array, something like this. Okay, any number of primary data type elements. Okay, now A part of this, I can also declare some functions like I suppose I added float weight and float height, and now I create a function that returns an integer. Function name is BMI. It takes two parameters, weight, height. Okay, there will be integers in all this, float in all this, so don't worry about this. And I'll return. Okay, so I'll return this. This way, a class is declared with some primary data type elements and some functions corresponding to these data elements. Okay, one more thing is there. The class should have a constructor that is used to initialize these data elements. Okay, now, okay, one more thing I want to tell you guys. Basically, there are three sections in a class. Private, it's a keyword, okay, and this is colon. So all things declared under this section can be accessed within this class only. Okay, now another is protected. Another keyword, this is another keyword. Okay, now as we know that we use int for age, float for weight, so actually this data type, that's actually a class, this data type is inheriting the properties of integer, int, and also inheriting the properties of some float data type. So when this class or this newly declared data type inherits the properties of another class or data type, that is known as child of this class. Okay, so this class is actually child of integer. Okay, so it can access some properties of integer. So there should be some class which can be accessing this class as a part. Okay, so all things declared inside a protected section can be accessed by children of this class only. Okay, and third, public section. If you do not write anything private, protected, public, so it's by default public. Okay, so all things declared inside a public section can be accessed from anywhere, anytime, outside of this class, outside of every child, anywhere in the program, wherever such data type is used. Okay, okay, so you'll understand it more better way when I'll implement this. Okay, so firstly I am to make a class for this graph. Okay, so class graph. Okay, now it has a private section with int v. Okay, v means number of nodes, okay, or vertices. So it has some vertices, so that's initialized with int. Okay, and here is to be a pointer to a list, and this list is of integer type. So list of integers is the data type of this pointer. Okay, okay, now one more thing I'll be using, that's a function dfs util. Okay, it basically do not return anything, it takes an integer v visited. Okay, I'll make you understand what it do later. Okay, so it's void. Now under public section I have just two things, sorry, three. There will be a constructor, so graph, it will take number of nodes. Okay, int is there, and there is another function, that's add edge, takes the node from which we are connecting and second node to which we are connecting. So int say u int w, okay? So just this. And third, dfs function, okay? So void again and void here as well, okay? So it takes just one integer, say s, and it will print all the nodes we will find by traversing. So it will take the first node from which we start and traverse through this entire graph, okay? So after this I can declare this outside, and this outside. Do not think that it's under private section, so how can we declare it? It's a function. A data element declared inside private section cannot be accessed from outside, but any function can be accessed, okay? So firstly I'll declare this constructor, okay? So this constructor, so I'll write graph, it initialize this v with this, okay? And we'll declare the size of this list. This list has all nodes of this graph, so this list will have size the number of nodes of this graph with size v, okay? So here we declare the constructor. It's done. Just two things to initialize these two data elements. Initialize with v, initialize with size of v, okay? So this is the class. Possibly I missed the semicolon in my previous writing, so make sure to note it down. And now, so here is my constructor. Okay, one more thing you should note, that a constructor do not have any void or any return type, okay? Apart of this, one more thing, when we use the data element with same variable as passed to this, so we use this means the v of this class will store the value v passed to this function, okay? If there any adj variable also passed, so I'll use this arrow adj, okay? This means adj of this class will store something, okay? So this way I completed this constructor. Now this is set, done, okay, this also done. Now, so I have declared a list of size v and the number of nodes as v, okay? Now I'll declare this function, okay? It will make this list, okay? So basically at the position given to us, that's u, so 0 means first element of this list. So when u is given, so a d j u, this means point u, okay, and to this push back these elements w. So this dot done. Now after declaring this function, I'll declare this function, and then you will realize that we will need this function and how we will use it. So I know that after declaring all this, making all this, I'm to make a boolean array with number of elements equals to number of nodes. So after declaring all these four things, initialize these two with constructor and started this and declared this here. Now I'll declare this function, okay? And now my next aim is to create an array with number of elements equals to number of nodes in this graph, and they are boolean, all initialized with f, means false, okay? So void dfs int s, this s is the node from which we have to start. So in this, declare a boolean pointer say this, to a new list new Boolean array of size v. This will use the v of this graph. If any v would be passed to this function, then I would be using this arrow v. Okay, by default it will take this. Now I declared an array. Now I am to initialize all these with false. So for int I equals to 0, I is less than v, I plus plus false. So after initializing all these with false, I am to start with this node in the graph. So I'll write dfs util. Now basically this function looks for children of this node passed to this, and it will update the visited array. Okay, look for the children of s, and present state of this visited array is just passed. Okay, so I did all this. So what actually DFS is doing, it's initializing a one-dimensional array with false, and the size of this array is the number of nodes in the graph. Okay, now actually I started my search from this s by calling this function. Okay, now I will write the function for this dfs util at the end of our code. Okay, one more thing I just noticed, I wrote int here, actually it's boolean. Okay, because viz or visited is a boolean array. So I'll write the function now, void name of class colons name of function, and now whatever I'll write here is sort of actual game. So what I did actually, I started from the element passed to me. I write true for that, printed that element, and looked for its first child. So basically called this function again for first element of this list. Okay, and again after solving all the and after visiting all the nodes connected to this generation, I look for this, then this, then this. So basically what I did, whatever is passed to me, this position of this array with true. Simple. Now I printed this and some space. Okay, fine. And after this I wrote a loop for all elements and call dfs util corresponding to each element. Okay, so for auto I equals to adj at v, then beginning of this to end of this. So beginning of this to what you are to do is so at that where I just push back, so I starts from here to here corresponding to every v. Okay, And now what I'm to do, if that position in that boolean array is not visited, then only visit that. So if not visited, the position is actually star I is pointed to this, so star I is the where. So look for the value as index into this, and if that's not visited, then what you have to do, dfs util, I have to pass just two things. First, whatever is here, because that node is visited now, so star I, and secondly this, and it's done. So this is here and this, it's all done. Sorry, I just rubbed this. So okay, here's my code. So I hope you like this video. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel for more such concept building videos.